Life lessons. So I'm actively trying to teach myself and remind myself that things take time, and life is a process, and life is all about the process. And essentially just to be a little bit more patient. With my personality, I find that I can very, very, very quickly get into this results-oriented way of thinking, in the sense that, so what that means is sometimes I think that if I don't get immediate results from it, then it's not worth doing right now. Can be true with certain things. It definitely has some truth to it and some validity to it, but it's also definitely not true with other things, in the sense that some things take time and some things are essentially an investment into the future. So with today though, like, I did plenty of things throughout the day actually that were very productive, but sometimes when time passes doing those things, I'm like, whoa, what have I actually done for today? Well, sometimes what I've done doesn't have necessarily direct results, but it's an investment into the future. For example, kind of just giving a breakdown of today, I went to a breakfast with my friend who's teaching me a little bit more about real estate, because in the future of my life I would like to get into real estate, and I'm just starting to slowly learn the process. But in order to learn the process, I have to devote time to it, a portion of time. Like, I'm a business guy. I want to be involved in many businesses, but that means I have to start to learn them, take the time to learn them. I'm not buying another house tomorrow, but the process starts today, if that makes sense. So allowing myself to devote the time with that. So he was teaching me about how he buys foreclosure houses and what he does and what all these terms mean and how the banks work and all this stuff. And then I went into Huntington to film some more videos. Now the videos are easy because they do feel like there is a direct result of I have footage. I can post those today if I really want to. That's easier to quantify the worth, right? But after that, I was driving home, and I felt really I don't know how to explain it other than I kind of just pull into this antique shop that I've been really wanting to go to for a long time. I've been past it all the time. You know what? Lately I've been trying to embrace the idea of the creative pull and allowing myself the opportunity to be curious and not necessarily be as results driven. What that means is allowing myself to go on opportunities and go on adventures, if you want to call them, or just get a little sidetracked to embrace curiosity. So that being said, today, while I was driving, I passed an antique shop that I've been really wanting to go and check out for a while. And today I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to take the time. And I just walked around because I'm just kind of trying to embrace the curiosity, creativity, new experiences. Because if I keep doing the same thing over and over again, I'm going to keep producing the same thing over and over again. But if I broaden my horizon, broaden my thinking, read more, watch more, watch different things, or just go different places, talk to different people, it's food for the creativity, if that makes sense. Where you're feeding the input, you're putting more input in so you can get different and new output. But that being said, the hard part about that sometimes can be the fact that you don't get immediate results from it. I go to this antique shop and walk around, look at the things, see the different history in it. I don't necessarily write a song that minute about it, but it plants a seed that then potentially writes a song. I might find a book that I, pull a line from that's oh, this is a really cool book, a really cool idea, or, something like that. Or I might see a painting that sparks a new idea, or I say it's a painting of a somebody in a white dress, that line, the beauty in the white dress. Who knows? I don't know. Does it make sense? Now, that being said, I did get something very cool. I've been looking far and high for years for something like this. So let me wrap up that thought before I can show you what I actually got, because I'm very excited. But I'm trying to be more patient and allowing myself to pursue creative curiosity, if that makes sense. That being said, let me go get what I got, because I'm very excited about it. Check this out. I have been searching for one of these for years now. This is a vintage functioning typewriter, in the sense that it still fully functions, fully works. See how the thing's moving? I just love the vintage aspect of it, the fact that it's almost goes back to me writing in paper, songwriting in paper, where it's this permanency to it, this level of commitment to it. I really think it's really cool. I've been looking for one for a long time. This is circa 1930, 1940. It released somewhere in the 1930s or 1940s, fully functioning. I just bought on Amazon some more ink for it, a tape that provides the ink, and you put the paper in. I'm gonna start, I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. If I do maybe custom lyrics, maybe I could type up a couple of lyrics for songs and send them out to people. Maybe I do my thank yous for the interviews with this, but see, this is so that my creative endeavor, my creative search brought in a new experience, something that I've been searching for a long time, which then could potentially create more just opportunity for creativity later. That also being said though, it was an incredibly good, the reason I got it, I felt like it was an incredibly good price. Usually I feel like they're very expensive, but this guy was, it came with a top, which the guy's gonna look for. He was looking for it when I was there, and I was like, look, I don't need it right now, like I'll come back. It came with a top, so like a carrying case if I wanted to travel with, it's portable. But it was $65. And then I was like, would you take 50? And he's like, sure. So I got it for $50 plus tax. Like, I think that's a really, really cool deal. So this is the newest addition to the studio. So now tying everything back to what I've been trying to say about the patience of the process, I'm going to give an example. I've been really interested in World War II lately, just watching documentaries and movies and reading articles and a whole bunch of stuff. So that's the reference and the example I'm going to make. So think about it like this. For example, there was a group of guys where their job was to protect this bridge. Now, winning World War II took years, right? And if you just look at that one little piece of time where their job was to protect this bridge, well, it doesn't really seem super important in the scheme of winning the war. So if you just look at that and be like, if they would just be like, well, we have to protect this bridge, but I don't see how this is going to win us the war. It's not the full picture. There's so many other things and so many things going on that are happening at the same time, that'll happen after, that the culmination of all these things over time will, for example, help win the war. Another thing is, like, say you're a Christopher Columbus, for example, this huge discovery of finding Americas, or really, I guess, the Bahamas. He didn't necessarily land in, I don't know what the history is, because we learned different things. Who knows? Point being is, it took forever. It took like a month, if not. How long did it take to get from where did he come from? Spain, Italy, one of the, I don't know. I guess I should have listened a little more in school, right? But he left on a boat, and it took a month? Would you say that time on the boat was necessarily productive? Well, he's not necessarily making any new discoveries. He's not finding new people, finding new food, finding new land, but it's all part of the process that led up to that, if that makes sense. So like nitpicking each detail, that'd be like saying, pretending, right? I'm not gonna go try to discover America because it's gonna take too long for me to potentially get there. I'm gonna waste a month trying to get there, so it's not worth trying to discover this new land, if that makes sense. And that's kind of that's the logic behind it, which is actually illogical. So it's like sometimes it takes time, and things you don't see necessarily fruits of your labor right now, but you'll see them in the future.